overall, our view is the worst for the renminbi probably is already over, barring the risk of a further escalation on the trade war side going to 2025. The conclusion is mostly driven by the cyclical side of the outlook from the U.S. side and China side. We're in the camp that U.S. economy is heading towards a soft landing, but still the slower growth and inflation will enable Fed to kickstart an easing cycle starting from September. Eventually, the terminal rates in U.S. probably will drop to a level that is closer to 3%, but not much lower. And on China side, we think the domestic deflationary issue is still persists. We still believe the central bank has room to triple or cut policy rates into Q4, as well as extended this measured easing pace into 2025. But still, you can see that based on the projection of a Fed and PBOC, chances high we're going to see interest rate differential between the dollar and the RMB to narrow to around 2% from the current very high over 3% level. So this cyclical narrowing in interest rate differential is fundamentally the key factor behind our call that the worst probably is over for the RMB.
Having said that, Ju, I want to get your take on some of the developments, the comments coming through from Donald Trump at the weekend. Countries ditching the U.S. dollar. He's going to be imposing 100% tariffs. So penalizing those actively engaged in bilateral trade in currencies other than the U.S. dollar. How big of a risk is this for the CNY?
Well, it's definitely a big elephant in the room. So in our outlook, we did emphasize that the uncertainty from tariff side is very, very high. But one thing's for sure that PBOC is unlikely to move dollar RMB fixing in reaction to those kind of election headlines, because it's not appropriate for the market to view that China is moving preemptively before a potential tariff. Chances high, if a tariff becomes official, then the dollar RMB fixing will start to react higher and RMB weaker. But as you can tell, this is highly dependent on the election result, and the market is also not aware whether Trump 2.0 will be similar to Trump 1.0, despite the fact that he's talking about the threat of 100% tariffs.